Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to talk about UTD and why it's so attractive to international students. The incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when I got to Dallas in 1992, UT Dallas had a great reputation, but it was still something of a local campus where just drawing from a 30-mile radius. Now it has become so global. And to talk about that is the Vice Provost for Global Engagement. His name is Dr. Juan Gonzalez. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And it impresses me that you and I got to Dallas at about the same time.
Yeah.
So what are your earliest memories of UTD when you first came?
It was a place of potential. You could see that the growth could happen in there. We were doing a great job in educating students and creating a reputation for solid education and engaging our students, and it has paid off.
Yes, and you're making great strides in Africa. Talk about that.
Yes, we believe that is really where the growth of population is going to be in the future. There's an incredible amount of talent in that area, and UT Dallas is always recruiting the best and the brightest from all over the world. So we wanted to have a footprint in there, and we have been so lucky to be able to open our office over there.
And you're making global news. We actually have a report from Africa. Let's go ahead and roll that.
And in business news, a Nigerian company, Cavista Holdings, has partnered with the University of Texas at Dallas, United States of America, to open an African office in Lagos to streamline admission processes for African students. Effiong Gekop reports.
The University of Texas at Dallas, USA, has opened its Africa office in Lagos. The office is a gateway for overseas admission seekers from Nigeria and other African nations. The project comes through partnership with a Nigerian company, Cavista Holdings.
I see this as an opportunity to extend those same opportunities to millions of incredibly talented people here in Nigeria and across Africa to make sure they can seize the opportunities to have a world-class education and go on to make a difference in others' lives and make an impact on the world as well.
Officials of the university acknowledge the need to harness abundant talents of youth in Nigeria for development.
We envision an office as a hub for collaboration where scholars, researchers, students from Texas, from the US, and from Nigeria, and from Africa come together to exchange ideas, share knowledge, and work on projects that have a potential to change the world. Now, we're really excited about these opportunities that the office will create for African students and professionals.
UT Dallas is a top-tier research university that attracts students and faculty from around the world. During the 2023-24 academic year, about 1 in every 5 students who enrolled came from outside the United States. So that's 6,000 students out of about 30,000.
The U.S. Consul General to Nigeria believes that Nigerians studying in his country have enlarged existing ties.
We see this as a natural next step in the development of the relationships between the state and Nigeria, and Lagos being the economic heart of the continent. It offers so many opportunities for increased study, which leads to increased trade. Because when people study in the U.S. and then they come home, they bring back ties to our research institutions, to our businesses, to our investors.
We offer academic degree programs at the bachelor's, master's, and doctoral level. But our 8 or 7 schools we have a School of Arts, Humanities, and Technology. So that's really an interesting combination for kind of a STEM-focused school like we are.
University of Texas at Dallas understands, what it means to retain talents, to recruit talents, and the right place to situate the hub of that recruitment team, that recruitment office, is Nigeria.
The office in Lagos will extend services to students from other African countries.
So give me an idea. What does that mean for your campus and your program specifically?
It means for us to keep expanding our base around the world. UT Dallas is incredibly popular with international students because they know that they're going to get a solid education and they're going to get job opportunities, especially our location here in Dallas is just fantastic for that. And students were always, like I mentioned, looking for talent all over the world, and having this office would really help us attract the best and the brightest from that region of Africa.
Absolutely. And when you made your announcement, you had a nice article. Let's go ahead and put that up on the screen. I think there's a cake there in the middle. What was that like? What was that day like?
It was fantastic. Well, one of our alumni, John Alijade, was the one who has been sponsoring this office for us and helped us establish this office in Nigeria. And we had an incredible turnout for this opening of the office, from the General Counsel of the United States to banking, CEOs,
Sure.
to government officials. There's a strong support for this, and we're excited about it.
And what kind of marketing do you guys do in Africa? So the word is out.
We are. What we are doing is we are attending fairs to recruit students. We are interacting with high schools, for example, advisors, to talk about UT Dallas and the opportunities to study in UT Dallas. We're also putting billboards in different locations in the African continent to make people aware of our university.
I think that's incredible. Are other colleges and universities doing the same thing?
Very few, very few. There are some UK universities that have had some offices in there, but we are really one of the first offices from the U.S. and on the ground in there.
Outstanding. Well, I love your campus. I love how global it feels. When you go there, you just see it's like a United Nations, and you do have some of the best and brightest on the planet. We're going to show some video from a recent graduation ceremony, and as we talk about that, why don't you talk about the vibe on campus?
It is. It is one of probably the most diverse campuses that you can find in the United States. We have students from 113 different countries.
Wow.
So, like you said, it's like the United Nations where you walk the hallways of UT Dallas.
Yes.
And all students benefit from this. Not only our domestic students get a lot of information from all around the world, create great friendships and connections, but our international students also benefit from our domestic students. And so it's a fantastic environment.
And as we're looking at this graduation ceremony, I can just speak from the times I've been on your campus. It is outstanding. I will often go there to speak to a group, and the welcome I get, the professionalism. I mean, these students it's not a place for them to kill time. They're there to get a great education.
I can tell you, Jeff, that our typical master's students, for example, takes about 1.7 years to complete the degrees. They're there to study. They're there to really get a great education, and then they find amazing jobs and get placed very well.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you first came to the campus, what was your role?
I was a faculty member, an assistant faculty member, straight from my postdoc, and I was growing my research agenda. I'm a molecular biologist. This is really my real job.
Sure.
And I spent a lot of time in my lab, and that's where I started. But little by little, they started pulling me into administration, and this is how I ended up in this position.
But I love that they promote like that from within, because your institutional knowledge of how the campus works and how you can add value is can't be replaced. You actually wear two hats, so you are also the Dean of Graduate Education. Tell me about that.
That's correct. Our office also manages graduate students. We have a very large graduate population for our size. About 1/3 of our students are either master's or PhD. You may or may not be familiar that UT Dallas started as a graduate school, only master's and PhDs, and then grew into the undergraduate side. So that is really a strong part of our DNA.
Yes.
Is the graduate students and our doctoral and master's students are very, very important to us, especially for our research agenda, which is very strong.
And as you go around the globe, do you find more and more people saying, oh, yeah, I've heard great things about UTD?
Yes, our name is all out there. We're a very popular school among students in India, and everybody recognizes UT Dallas, and they know that this is a place where they're going to take good care of you, they're going to give you great education. And so we are becoming more popular all around.
Sure. And just the feeling of belonging. I know that you can pretty much come from any country and you can find your peer group. And that's so important, isn't it?
It is incredibly important. The students, I'd like to say, once you join UT Dallas, you're a citizen of UT Dallas. And it doesn't matter where you came from. You're going to be welcome. You're going to be part of our family. And we're going to take care of you. And that's really important for students, especially international students, that their parents are worried about their kids going far away from home, they know that this is a safe and a secure place where people are going to really embrace them.
Sure. And as we close this segment, I want you to look out into the future. Where do you see the programs that you're over being in a few years?
I can only see growth for UT Dallas. It is going to continue this path. We're going to continue recruiting from all over the world and recruiting here domestically in the United States. And again, our motto is the best and the brightest. That's what we want. We want people that are going to make a difference. They're going to make an impact in society in the future.
Well, congratulations on your vision and your success and much continued success. We're going to end with their website, which is ic.utdallas.edu. Dr. Juan Gonzalez, thanks for coming on the show.
It's a pleasure. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.